Hey everyone, we are doing the live video. I screwed up. Thomas will be joining me shortly. I just sent him the link to the hopefully correct video. I accidentally hit it on private instead of public, so my bad everyone who is trying to watch this. And hello to everyone who's watching it after we've done recording it. It just stays up on YouTube. So yeah, again, so Thomas is we were talking for like 5 minutes. I was like, I think this is set on private, so um, yeah, hopefully, yeah, because here comes Thomas. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we're good now. Okay.
I think so, because earlier,
My
hi
bad.
guys. Earlier I was looking at live comments and it said something about private video.
Oh,
now
okay.
I'm seeing comments.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, my bad, guys. So we already did the introduction, but no one saw that. So again, I'm Kyle from No Hype Beer Reviews, and I'm joined by
Thomas Opent from the Netherlands.
So yeah, super excited. So yeah, two dudes doing an international across the Atlantic beer review of a beer that neither one of us live in the country of origin. So yeah, no, really excited to do this.
Me too.
Do you want to pop them open and get going?
Yeah, man, let's just do this because that's what we're here for, right?
Yeah, cool.
So from what I gathered, it says prior 8 on the bottle, but this is a double. Ooh. Is yours as foamy as mine?
Maybe even more so, yeah.
I mean, look at that. That is creating one hell of a head, isn't it?
Jeez, yeah.
Now, first of all, congratulations on the clean glassware.
I think I have it down finally, yeah. So annoying. Yeah, I moved, and the water here is definitely different. I think it's a little harder, and when I wash out the glasses, it's not like it used to be in my old house. But anyway, all right. So you're saying this is a double?
From what I gathered, I could quickly check on Untappd because I got my phone here.
Yeah, it's doing one of those things where it says Abiel on the back, but then what is it? There's 6 that also says Abby, or
because Abby, on Untappd, it's classified as a Belgian double.
Double, okay.
Yeah.
So
with one hell.
I mean, it definitely looks like, it's supposed to. It has that brown color, a little bit of red in there.
Yeah, like as Matt would say, the doo-doo water.
Yeah, so true. That's funny. What's up, everyone commenting? I don't want to make anyone feel like they're not being heard or seen. We'll get to those in a moment. Do you want to start talking about the aroma then?
Yeah, let's go for that.
Okay.
Oh, wow. So yeah, that's that definite, like that raisins, figs, dates, incredibly sugary.
I drink a lot of I do the Belgian style ales. It's the quads, so like it definitely is like that, but a lower version, which is essentially what I think it's supposed to be like. So
absolutely, this is basically quad light.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And for people wondering, the plan is to do this and then do the 12 and actually do the.
Well, I prepped a glass for a cuvee just in case.
Yeah, I have a little guy too, just in case. All right.
So you get that definite Belgian yeast profile. You know what I mean? You get a little bit of that banana clove thing going on. More towards the clove than the banana.
I can get some. I agree with everything you're saying. I get a little bit of like dark bread in there too. It's definitely like beer is liquid bread for sure.
You see, you can, if you know a little bit. I don't know if you know about the history of, for example, the double bock. Where the double bock is basically for this is what was brewed for monks during Lent.
Okay.
So they could ingest calories without actually eating.
Okay.
And you can tell when you smell something like this, you get that bready, yeasty heavy aroma. You're like, this is gonna fill me up.
Yeah.
This is gonna, bulk.
It's so true.
Sometimes with these doubles, I have that with a double. I have that more than I do with a quad, for example.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean with a little bit of dusty aroma? Does that make sense to you?
Like chalky?
Yeah, like when you chalk, for example, when you rub down the board with the you do the thing with the chalky. Yeah, that's elegant, isn't it? That's loquacious. Wow.
Well, I am a teacher, so I'm used to that smell. So yeah. But no, I would say it's a little chalky. Yes.
Yeah. See, and the thing is, I don't know about you. Of the Belgian styles, I usually find the double to be the least interesting.
Okay.
And yet, this is one of those beers that gets me.
Yeah.
It gets to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I do find myself definitely quads more, triples.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the double, the least. All right. Well, cheers across from the Atlantic.
Cheers to you, buddy.
It's so creamy.
Yeah.
I get that liquid bread thing. I get some of the dried fruits you were speaking about. And again, it's just because of my drinking habits. It does, as we said, feel like a quad light in so many ways, and it allows for it to be refreshing and not, palate consuming. Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
You mentioned it's quite creamy. It's been a while since I had the prior 8 because I usually tend to go for the AB 12 for the quad.
Yes.
Like you said.
Yeah.
I'm surprised by how sweet it is. For some reason, I remember this being more the malty bitterness.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot sweeter than I remember. It's also, and I love to use this word in my English reviews when it's applicable, it's insanely quaffable.
Yes.
You could, if you're not paying attention, if you're in the right company and you don't know what you're doing, this bottle would be empty in 15 minutes.
Yeah, yes. No, for sure. And the sweetness thing is interesting. You mentioned that given their history with Vest, I'm going to mispronounce it, but Westy 12, but the Vestvleteren.
Vestvleteren.
I'm sorry, one more time.
Vestvleteren.
Thank you.
Yeah, Gesundheit.
You can see why Americans say Westy 12.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, because in America we just give up when things are hard to pronounce. And anyway, but having done that side by side, the 12 for both, I do think the St. Bernardus is a hair sweeter at that quad level. So I guess that kind of makes sense. It would translate to the 8 level. Yeah. It's so good. Bring up some of these comments just so we can stay up on people. Let's go. We did go. We're started.
Yeah.
That was one of the early ones. Peter says, good evening.
Yeah, Peter's one of my regular viewers. Actually, he's a great guy. Cool. the way Peter can describe beers is insane. He does it in Dutch on a Facebook page. Okay. But his terminology, his depth of understanding flavors is it's nice. Insane. Yeah, I still want to review with
your
him.
Acquaintance, Peter. Let's see. Ronald McDonald here. King Ren 29. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
See, we got Douglas. Hi, Kyle. Hello, Douglas. Let's see. Oh, Dutch Beer Geek. What's going on? What up? Sorry. It's 100% on me. 100% my fault. But we're doing it now. And then Douglas came back and said, "Hey, Thomas, to you."
Yeah, Douglas is like one of my best mates, really.
Oh yeah, nice. You know him in real life?
Oh yeah, sure. We never reviewed in English before, but there's a few reviews in Dutch that you can find.
Okay.
The guy's and he's basically my main supplier for mystery beers.
Nice. Heck yeah, yeah. And again, if anyone wants, English isn't a language they speak or speak well. If we need to translate stuff, that's totally fine. Let us know. Yeah. Cheers to you.
Yeah. By the way, for everybody who's watching right now, for some reason, when I'm looking at the comments, I think there's a lot of Dutch people watching right now. But everybody, drop something in the comments. What are you drinking right now? We'd love to know.
Proper glassware, yeah. I got a pack of each of their beers, and it came with a glass. Yeah. And then I had ordered a bunch of beer from beerbelgiumbox.com, something like that. And then I got the little taster too. So yeah, I'm a big fan of these beers.
Speaking of the beer, by the way, just out of curiosity, if you were to buy these a bottle, can you buy them per bottle, or do you need to buy a 4-pack?
The local beer store I mostly go to, you can buy singles of things. I bought a single of this, and then I bought a 4-pack of the 12 so I can age the other 3.
So I'm just out of curiosity. We need to get back to you and aging, by the way. Oh my God, you're so like. Anyway, what do you pay for a bottle of this?
I think, if I remember, for this one, was it? I think it was about $5 American.
You're joking.
And then the 12 was 24 for a 4-pack.
How much?
$24 for a 4-pack.
Oh my God. This is let's just round it off. This is €2 a bottle.
Really?
For both the Prior 8 and the AB 12. Which is, because I can use my phone very quickly. Let me just quickly check. Euro to dollar. Because now I'm curious no, I don't need to know rupee. €1 is $1.13 American dollar.
Oh wow!
So this is basically $2.30. That's I would have guessed it was a little bit more expensive, but double the price.
Yeah, I mean, with the importing of it, and I live in a city, so things are a little bit more money. But yeah, I think that's about. And maybe I'm wrong. If someone else wants to chime in, let me know. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, twice. Okay.
Yeah, but on the other hand, what do you pay for like the standard? Let's go to last year's. What would you pay for last year's BCBS? Just like the normal one, just the normal 2019.
I think it's supposed to be $10 a bottle. Living in a city, it's like $11. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We pay €20.
Really?
Retail, and because it's not as readily available, after a month you'll easily find them for 25. We had a 3-pack of the 17, 18, and 19 released. On average, 80 to 85 euros.
So they're selling, I want to say, for $45 around me. So
the 3-pack.
Yeah.
So about that shipping and stuff, right? Yeah. So I think you and I need to set up something here, because I think you and I can really help each other out here.
Okay. That's crazy though. Yeah, that does surprise me. Yeah, that surprises me. Keith, hello. I'm gonna need some translation here from Roy.
Roy's curious about the aroma. He's like, what the aroma is going to be like? Well, we discussed that. And I don't know about you, but I get the idea now that it's airing out a little bit. The roasted malt bitterness is getting a chance to shine a little bit on the palate, and the balance between the sweet, the first initial sips were incredibly sweet, and it's going a little bit towards that malty roasted backbone now.
Okay.
For me, but
I get a little bit of bitterness in the back of my tongue, which I think is what you're speaking to. It's not as like initially the sweetness we were talking about. Yeah.
But this will always be a sweet beer, of course.
Well, and that's interesting too. Just the the American diet, you know, versus, you know, what people are eating in other parts of the world.
Yeah.
You know, not that I drink a lot of like these pastry stouts and stuff, but it is, I agree, this is a sweet beer, but then it's, you know, some of these New England style IPAs or, yeah, you know, I just had a milkshake IPA. Then it's like, oh, you know, but for this style, I'll qualify it that way. For this style, yeah, I think it is a sweeter beer for sure.
Yeah, sure. Compared to some of those lactose-driven beers,
Yeah.
This is actually, I'm the more I think it's pretty. Let me backtrack a little bit. For my palate, I would consider this beer to be relatively dry. Actually,
Okay.
there's a sweetness to it, but it's not a lingering cloy sweetness.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And in the finish, ultimately, what lingers is a sort of a. It's a bit dry. It's a bit. Wait, let me. There we go.
I agree. No, I agree. Yeah.
Now, just a little bit dry. You still get that dried fruit component.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of that. I mean, a Belgian beer will never be a hop-forward beer.
Yes.
A Belgian beer might be an Abbey style beer.
Yeah. Yeah. Into style. Yeah.
But you get a little bit of a sort of a hoppy, not like right here.
Okay.
I'm getting a sort of like that hoppy bitterness in a soft, subtle note.
Mm-hmm.
But more like when you drink a good Pilsner, where it's that hoppy. It's a bitter hop, not a aroma hop. You know what I mean?
Yes. No, I can see what you're talking about. Yeah, that's why I took another sip to get it. Yeah. I do get that in the back, and then there's it's making me salivate a little bit too. Like it is, you know, thirst quenching, but it's also it's having that effect on my palate where it's like keep going, you know. And you had said that earlier about how quickly you could drink a bottle of this for sure. Yeah.
No. This is a pretty. I don't think did we mention the ABV? I don't think we did.
No, I don't think we did.
Oh, there it is. 8% ABV.
Okay.
Which I assume it is for you as well.
I assume, yeah. I don't. You found it on the back or the front?
Geez, this is.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, it looks a little different.
Yeah.
Just a little smaller, but no, it's there. The same spot. Yeah, my bad.
I'm curious, by the way. Did you know that if you check, I'm assuming you have your app 12 close by?
Yeah, yeah, it's right here.
Does one of your bottles have a winking monk on it?
I only have the one bottle right here. And he is not winking.
No, I've heard that in every other, like every 1,000th of a bottle or something, one of the labels will have a winking monk on it.
Okay, that would be
and
cool.
The same thing would be for the, Duvel?
Yeah, yes, yes.
You call it Duvel, we call it Duvel. Has a slightly different logo on it with a little, instead of two angels, one is an angel and one is a devil.
Oh, which makes sense.
Yeah, you should check that out.
Okay, cool. I love stuff like that. Yeah, like little Easter eggs or whatever. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Douglas, yeah, no, I'm a big fan of proper glassware for sure. Yeah, going back Dutch Beer Geek to the price. Yes, those are very different prices. Very different. Kent Beer Reviews. Cheers for sure.
Yeah. What up, dude? So, if you were to give this, I don't think you usually don't do ratings in your reviews. I think.
I don't know, but I mean, we can certainly talk about it, which is fine. Yeah. Yeah, I find and maybe again, like being a teacher, like the scale is interesting. You know, to me, when I hear someone say it's a 3 out of 5, in my world, that's a failing grade. If you 60% of something, that's not good. But to some people, a 3 out of 5 is, I would buy this again. I'm glad I'm drinking it. So I just thought like trying to explain on my scale, this is what I mean by that. So I did try to find myself or to try to do things like, I would definitely buy this again, or like, I want to go back to the store and buy more of these, if it's something I think is really special. Yeah.
I see what you mean. Because is this well brewed? Yes. It's meticulous. It's perfect. There are no flaws in this beer. Is it tasty? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But is it exciting? I mean, push comes to shove, it's a little bit bland. As in, it's sweet, it's got a little bit of a bitter backhand, and there you go.
So I've had this conversation about session IPAs, and some people are like, well, it's nice, I can drink 2 of them, they're lower in alcohol, lower in calories. Yeah. And I'm like, well, I'd rather have one nice IPA than 2 less flavorful session IPAs. So to apply that here, I really am enjoying this, but I think I'd still rather just do the 12. Have the same flavors, just just more of that. So although, yeah, I agree 100%. I don't have a criticism of this beer. There's nothing wrong with the brewing process. The final result is very tasty. It's what I want out of this. It's exactly what I want out of this, actually. But I still, if I'm at the store, am I like, oh, I want a 4-pack of this? I'm gonna pay a couple extra bucks and get the 4-pack of the 12 to have those flavors more in my face.
Exactly, and that's a very good point, because let's say the 8 was, well, let's talk about euros right now. Let's say the 8 was €2 and the 12 was €5. I could see myself thinking, you know what, I'll buy 2 of the 8 and I can have a wonderful evening.
Okay.
But because they're the same price, almost, I mean, for me, it's literally, the difference is 10 cents.
Yeah.
The 12, and we're going to get to the 12 soon, has so much more to offer in terms of complexity.
Yes.
Depth.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, for the people who find this an important thing, the alcohol kick. I mean, if you want to get your buzz on,
true.
Sure. Yeah. There you go. I'm just, by the way, quickly want to comment on a few things, because I'm seeing some comments going by.
Yeah, I wanted to do that too.
Peter says, just to translate, he's drinking a red ale from a home brewer.
Nice.
Very oaky. It's dry, bitter, and a tad too sweet.
Okay. Nice.
And Douglas, he says 3.75 out of 5. I think I can find myself in that.
And again, that's where I'd want to have that conversation. Like, what does that mean to you in terms of, would you buy it again? Would you? Yeah. Okay. I get it though. Does a double have to be exciting?
That's an interesting conversation, isn't it?
Yeah. Does beer always have to be exciting?
Let's switch that back to another beer style, where here in the Netherlands, for a lot of people, the craft beer scene, the beer geek scene, is not as big yet as it is for the United States. Now, for most people, when they drink beer, they'll drink macro lager, and something like this is considered a specialty, a special beer, or special beer, as we would call it.
Yeah.
Craft beer. How do you put this? Okay, you guys have a pale ale. Now, what we have is something called a blonde ale.
Yes. Yeah.
In essence, it's the same thing, but while the blonde ale is very yeast driven, your pale ale is very hop driven, but not as much as a India Pale Ale would be.
Yeah.
Now, and there is where I think you can draw the parallel. Does a pale ale need to be exciting? The same thing can be said for a double, where in the pale ale range, we're talking about if you're looking for a hoppy beer and you want something exciting, you might want to go for a double dry hopped IPA or maybe even a double dry hop double IPA.
Yeah.
And if you want something malty, do you want to go for like a quad, or are you like, you know what, I want to enjoy a beer, but I don't want something that's going to demand a lot of attention?
Yeah.
You could go for a double.
Yeah. I think about it sometimes with food, like if a beer that is like stands on its own so much where like it demands your attention. Do I want to also cut through? And I understand that a beer like that can pair very well with different kinds of food versus maybe a beer I'm drinking with food actively because the beer is secondary to the eating, and a pale ale to keep this going. I could be eating a lot of foods and have a pale ale versus maybe, and I think, yes, this might fall into that territory to get to your point. Whereas if I'm drinking their quad, that's probably my focus. Whereas this one, I could see myself having it with a cheese plate or maybe a dessert or whatever, and then it's both of these things. It doesn't command my attention as much. It's interesting. I like this question. Does a double have to be exciting? I like that.
That's a great comparison that you just made, because every now and then you're like, you know what I would love to do right now? I'd love to get maybe 2 or 3 great cheeses, get a nice little fig compote, get some different sides, and go for like, well, you guys have like Lost Abbey, for example.
Yes.
They make some great quads, right? You go high end. That's amazing. And you know what every now and then what you want to do? Every now and then you just want to turn on your TV, start watching the first Avenger movies, and all you want is a bag of 90-cent Doritos, pre-made quad, and a few macro lagers.
Yeah.
And then that sounds like a pretty good night to me, really.
Yes. I not to get like philosophical or whatever. I'm not a Buddhist, but I like the idea of that mindfulness, being in the moment, enjoying the thing you're doing. So I do try to actively do that. But to your point, which is so true, I use the food analogy or comparison or whatever word you want to use. You're using the eating or drinking something as you're watching the thing. That's taking your focus. There's this other pleasure that's coming because of the salt quantity of the Doritos or the hop flavor of the IPA you're drinking. It's not the focus of what you're doing. It's complementing, it's enhancing, it's adding to. But and I think this beer falls into that for me. Whereas if I'm doing a beer review, 100% of my attention's on the beer. A quad is going to be more exciting to me to talk about, to drink, in that moment. All right, let's see.
Exactly.
I think we got some thoughts about Rochefort. 8 is better. I mean, Rochefort, phenomenal beers come out of Rochefort. I agree. Yeah, I mean, I agree. 6 is I agree on the Rochefort 6. Yes, Thomas Opent has to be exciting. Every beer has to be exciting.
Again, that's philosophical, and that's each to his own. Or as we would say in the Netherlands, King René is from the Netherlands. Ieder zijn eigen. Each to their own. Ieder zijn eigen. And every now and then, I think a beer doesn't need to be exciting. It just needs to be right for the mood.
And also, exciting is a scale. I mean, doing this is exciting. It's not the same excitement as getting a new job or what. I mean, fair enough. Life is short to drink boring beers.
That is. See, that's interesting because if you look at the following comment. Yeah.
I don't remember the last time I had what I would call a boring beer. Again, on that scale, maybe a more, a less interesting, but like a beer that bored me to drink. I mean, even water. If you drink a glass of water, you might get some sulfur in it, or a little saltiness quality, or the minerality of it.
Hey,
You can fight boredom in drinking water. I can certainly fight boredom drinking a beer.
let's bring water into the alcohol equation. If you had a heavy alcohol evening, the next morning, water is going to be the most exciting thing in your life.
Speaking of which, I'm going to drink some water.
Yeah, me too. I want to cleanse my palate a little bit for the.
You want to get into the 12?
Oh, do I? Because here's the weird thing. This beer, like I told you, is like €2 for me.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I had one. It's it's quite possible. It's been a year since my last at 12.
They do their. Are they the ones who do 3 years out for their Best Buy?
I know that that goes for Westvleteren.
Okay.
If you see the best buy on Vesti, Westy, subtract 3.5.
Okay.
I believe it was 3.5, and that would be your bottling.
Okay. So mine says 10/2/23. So I'm wondering if it's that seems really fresh. If it's February 10th of this year for my bottle. I mean, I'm sorry. Here's what I'm getting to. I've had this beer more recently than you, but they were aged. This is perhaps the freshest I've had in a long time.
Well, mine is. I'm assuming that. Does your bottle have any Dutch text on it?
No.
No. See, mine has, so that probably means that your labeling is in American. So you get month, day,
Oh, I
year.
always see these beers assume it's going day, month, year the European way, but perhaps because they're shipping them to America, they are flipping it.
See, mine is 010823. But I do have a different label because I have Dutch text on it.
Okay.
So there is a good chance that yours is because of import.
Yeah. So maybe it's from October of 2019 then.
Having said that, since mine is, I know for a fact that mine would say August 1st, 23. Mine is definitely in 2019.
Okay.
And see, that's the thing here, because these beers are so readily available here.
Yeah.
And they're being bought so often. I bought this in a supermarket.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And oh, sorry, I'm just seeing an interesting comment.
No, that's fine.
I just saw an interesting comment from Douglas. Kyle and Thomas, one question for you both. Which one beer should be everywhere available for everyone for life? Name just one. Well, this live stream is just going to take about 3 more hours.
Jeez. Wow. Oh, Kent thinks these are 5 years out. Interesting. Okay. If you look it up, maybe. All right. So one beer. Sorry, my camera's in the way, so sometimes these comments are hard for me to read. One question for you both: which is one beer should be available everywhere? Man, I'm gonna think of. Let me think about that. It's an awesome because like I'm going through all the different styles.
Yeah, me too. I'm being very quiet and contemplative, but that's because I'm just thinking.
And then I have beers that have nostalgic value that I'm like, oh, I wish people could try this because to me it was like this beer Ithaca's Flower Power was the first IPA I ever liked, and it was one of the early, not New England style, but like an East Coast take on the IPA in the United States. So it was a little different than the West Coast stuff. But I don't know if I mean, and I think it's still delicious beer. I just don't know if that would be my pick. Like that's the kind of let people on my thought process right now. Kind of some of the things I'm thinking, or like Sierra Nevada's Pale Ale, just because that's such a classic.
Yeah, no, but that's a good one though, because you see, that's the thing. People immediately want to go like, "Oh yeah, you know what should be always around and not too expensive? We should have like Bourbon County brand stout all the
Yeah.
time for like €8, and that would be like amazing." No, man, no,
Whereas something
no,
like the pale ale, as we kind of have been using as an example, like that beer is good on its own, but if I'm eating food, it doesn't detract from the food I'm eating. If anything, it's nice without taking away.
I got it,
Okay.
and it already is. I just spotted it in my supermarket 2 days ago.
Okay.
Saison du Pont.
Oh, because that's a good one in many situations.
Exactly. A nice meal,
Yeah.
just casual drinking,
Yeah.
snack food. Um, dude, just Saison du Pont.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, if you guys have questions or like want to talk, like I definitely want to get into some of like we touched upon it a little bit, differences in craft beer, specific to the Netherlands or Europe as a whole versus the United States. And I have been
Yeah,
able to spend some time in Europe, which I wanted to talk a little bit about my time in the Netherlands because I really enjoyed that. But yeah, if you have any questions or whatever or conversations, we can get going. That'd be awesome. But I'm going to go. I'll stick with a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale then, just but similar reasoning. I just think that's a good beer. If you're outside for having a picnic or barbecue with people, or if you're just watching the new Marvel movie at your house or whatever, like that's
exactly.
a nice beer for sure. Yeah,
Because it goes so well with so many things, and I just need to, it goes so well with so many things. In the meantime,
yeah. Let's get
we
this
should definitely
going.
crack this one open. No, but actually, oh shit.
Oh, does it?
No, I had a big hiss. I thought this was going to be a lively one.
Uh-oh.
It ain't too bad. It ain't too bad. We got this. So yeah, that definitely already pours a bit darker.
Yes. But again, like we're talking about here, I'll get rid of this just for the time being, and I'll get to their comments. Don't worry, everyone.
Yeah,
Um,
no, cool, cool, cool.
yeah, I mean, it's like we are saying before we even poured it in terms of the 8 being a lighter version of this. Yeah, the
Mm.
color's a little darker, but you're still getting the same thing. Like there's that little bit of red I was talking about before. You get that brown. Man.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but there's definitely a nice head on it, but it seems a lot more rocky,
Hmm.
bit bigger bubbles, bit more quickly dissipating, which could, of course, definitely be the higher ABV because we're going from 8% to 10%.
True. Yeah.
But that's a beautiful looking beer, though.
So good.
This
All
is exactly
right.
what you want from a
I'm
quad.
thinking your moment. Sorry, I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. Isn't that beautiful for a beer that's so readily available? You're still excited about it.
I love this beer every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's so interesting because see, this is already. Remember what I said about that dusty chalky?
I was just okay. That was the first thing I was going to talk about.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, no, it's just it's in some ways I feel like this might be boring because I think we're just going to keep saying things like it's like the 8 but bigger, and that chalky, dusty thing.
Yeah.
Maybe so. I poured the rest of the 8 into this little taster. Maybe like some of the yeast was at the bottom or something, but we had a little bit of a cherry note I didn't get before.
That's similar. Seriously, that's the first thing that I noted as well, except for the chalkiness, is when I smelled it. I was like, this is exactly the same dried fruit component, the
Yeah.
figs, dates, raisins, but with that cherry note on top. Now, such a big, like,
I get the faintest amount of vanilla as well. Like, I mean, like almost not even registering. Like,
no, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Because, and I just put my bottle out of the way because your bottle is definitely in, because your bottle is right over there, and this thing is bugging the hell out of me because of my shoulders and everything. It's interesting because I can understand why a lot of people think that when you age this for a few years, it gets that barrel aged character.
yeah, yeah.
because of that sort of oaky vanilla.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not huge. It just honestly, what I was trying to do was, because in so many ways it smells similar, just maybe umped up a little bit. So I was trying to find anything different or new, and that's where I kind of stumbled into that vanilla. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna clear my palate real quick.
Go for it.
All right.
Oh man, I'm still a little bit.
In this case, we'll get caught up on the comments, everyone. I promise.
Yeah, dude. I just need to. I didn't get. I'm still a bit groggy. I think I fell asleep at like 3:30 or something.
Yeah.
I told you I had a gig last night.
Yeah.
So I got home like insanely late, and I'm 37, man. I'm nearly 38. I can't do this shit anymore.
I'm turning 37 in a couple months. I get you.
Yeah. Remember when you could get drunk on a Saturday evening and do it all over again on a Sunday afternoon?
Hey, speaking of getting drunk, cheers.
Cheers.
For 2% more alcohol, 2% more. The ratio is off because it is so much more flavor. It's not that ABV is everything, but just use that as a point of comparison. Something that is 8%, and this is the bigger version at 10%. Wow, so much more.
I think we both. What was the date on yours again?
It's saying 10/2/23. So I don't know if it's the October 10 or the February 2, being the American market.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, because I think I wouldn't be surprised if is it me, and this is not a negativism.
Okay.
But it's a bit boozy. I'm getting maybe that's because we just had the 8.
No, you know what? So taking booze, the taste of alcohol out of it, what I was speaking about before, how much more impactful all these flavors have. That being said, compared, that 8, I got no alcohol taste. I can see some alcohol being there. It's not a deterrent for me. And also, like you were saying, having that gig last night, we were talking about it before we did this stream. I happened yesterday to go to a barrel-aged beer festival.
Right, yeah.
My palate might be a little off in terms of what I'm considering boozy, but I do get what you're saying, especially compared to that 8. I get a lot of same flavors, just more intense. A little bit of that cherry.
Mm-hmm. And again, that makes perfect sense.
A little sweeter, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, this is so.
In essence, the recipe, that's where the single, double, triple, quad. In essence, everything is literally more, except that you use darker malts for a double and a quad than you would for a single and a triple.
Yeah, exactly.
So it makes sense that this is I got the double here.
Okay, yeah, I have a little bit left. Yeah.
Yeah. This is. I'm trying to find an analogy, and it's not a funny one, because I'm not trying to say that he ever did. But this is Arnold Schwarzenegger competing in his, younger days. And this is Arnold Schwarzenegger still competing, but realizing he needs an edge.
The 12 is a on steroids version of the 8.
There you go. Try not to use the steroid words before people start going like,
well, I'm sure he never used steroids.
No, man.
All right, so Dutch Beer Geek, drinking a barley wine. I drank a bunch of those yesterday. Love the style. Yeah. There's definitely some overlap with quads, but they're unique beers, which I really appreciate.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think for me, The big difference between a quad and a barley wine is that where I feel like a quad is a yeast-driven beer.
The yeast in this, yeah.
Yeah. And it, again, we haven't touched that yet because we talked about that during the 8. This is definitely, you get, again, oddly enough, maybe because the malt profile in this one is a lot bigger. In the 8, I got a lot more esters, those yeasty, fruity esters, the banana and the clove and the little bit of fruity notes, than I did in the 12. There's still a spice component.
This is approaching, and it doesn't have like cinnamon or those kinds of spices in it, but it's approaching. If I was doing this blind, I don't think I would say it has cinnamon as an adjunct as a guess, but I think it is a descriptor that there's like notes of it, or it's close to something like that. The spiciness. I like what you're saying though about less banana. I am pulling less banana in the 12.
Mm.
But some. I mean, there's still some. It's not. I don't think it's completely disappeared.
Well, it's still there, but for me, the 8, not that long ago, because those beers are quite readily available here in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Not that long ago, I had the lovely privilege of trying a few of those incredibly. I mean, for me, I'm not a big Bock fan.
Okay.
Because most of them, especially here in the Netherlands, is pretty commercially brewed. The best Bock beers are the ones from Germany. And the best are the double Bocks.
Yes.
The Weihenstephaner, things like, what's the other one? Schneiderweisse.
Okay. Yes.
And they have that incredibly big yeasty banana clove component. And that's that yeasty component that I really get in the 8 a lot more than I do in the 12.
I agree. No, I do. Yeah, it's. But like the 12 is definitely the beer I was thinking and talking about when we were talking about the 8 and differences we would see in all of that. Like I'm not surprised by them, how it's more intense in a good way. To use the exciting word from before, definitely this excites me a little bit more than the 8. It still has some of that creamy mouthfeel. No, this is solid. Hello, I'm going to assume hello from the
Bos Engel. Casper, how you doing, mate? Brewery. Yeah, it's getting late.
Fair enough. So
Brewery the Bos Engel.
You don't want to drink the heavy stuff every day. I mean, I do, but my health doesn't want me to. No.
I don't.
No.
I do want to drink 3 of those heavy beers every day.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Saison, yeah, great beer. That was an awesome choice for sure.
Yeah.
Which one do you like best? I did. I've compared these. I think I've done a couple reviews where I've done some different quads and stuff. And for me, it comes down to if you like things a little sweeter, you'll like this one more than the Westie. If you like, when you think of like wine being dry, then it also translates to beer, obviously. If you like your quads a little drier, I think that's the Westie 12. Yeah. He's also mentioned the Rochefort 10. I mean,
see, that would have been my answer. Which one do you like more, the Westie 12 or the Ab 12? And my answer would be the Rochefort 10.
Yeah, the years before I did the beer review thing, my friends and I did these quads blind with, so it was those 3. I typically say Omagong, who's owned by Duvel. They have their 3 philosophers. We threw that in there, and then maybe just for fun, like the Chimay Blue, and
classic.
And then I think. Yeah, depending on people's preference. People who had a little bit more of a sweet tooth, like the St. Bernardus, and the people who had like things a little drier, wet the Westie. But again, that was blind, so for what it's worth, guys. Rochefort 10, heck yeah. 12 for Peter. I mean, it's all win. They're delicious beers too. Like that's the nice thing. Me too. I like the Australian 12 a little more still. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Dougie, I'll be at your place soon.
Me too. Nice. Good. Yeah. I will drink them side by side. Yeah, do yourself a favor. Like that's a very nice thing to do. Yeah. Make a day of it for sure. Interesting. Okay.
So
no, actually, I think I have had, or was that 2012? The oldest I might have ever had was from, I want to say 2012.
What is a general price for a Westie where you come from?
Well, I'd have to order it online or something. When I was on that trip where I did the Netherlands, Belgium, and France, I bought some Westie 12s, a 10, and an 8, or 10 and 8. I don't remember what I paid, and then this. I forget the website. It's like My Belgium. Actually, I might have it bookmarked somewhere. I could look.
I can tell you exactly what it costs at the brewery.
Okay,
at the Abbey. Yeah. You don't want to know.
Belgium in a box, and I had when I paid off my student loans, and
you paid off your student loans as an American.
I did, yeah, I know. Yeah.
You people exist? People can actually do that in America?
Yeah. Yeah, we can get my finances if that's what? Yeah, no, I did. Well, I mean, I was single. I was living in a house at cheap rent, so it was a lot easier to pay off my loans than the average person. But anyway, so once I paid them off to kind of treat myself, I ordered a case of Westie 12. Perhaps it should do a side by side with. Yeah, and that's what I did was the Roche on camera anyway. The Rochefort, the Saint Bernardus, and the Westie.
I remember.
Oh, here's a comment coming your way. All right, you know what? They are really good. The trap is.
I'm going to duck out of screen for 2 seconds.
Yeah, no problem.
I need to plug in my laptop, but
okay.
Just give me 2 seconds. Entertain the masses.
So the people saying Le Trappe, however you pronounce it. I'm sorry again. I'm very Trap.
La Trappe.
Trop.
La Trappe.
I feel like we're saying it the same way, but I'm not.
Oh, you are.
It has been a while since I've had that beer, to be fair. And you know what? Now that I think about it, that blind beer review I was talking about, or not review, the blind that my friends and I did, we did do all the Trappist beers. That's what it was. It was all the Trappist quads, and then we also put in that Oma Gang 3 Philosophers. That's what it was. So I did have it with that. Excuse me, but I haven't had it in a time recent.
The only big difference between the La Trappe and the ones you mentioned is that the La Trappe isn't a Belgian quad. It is a Belgian style quad. La Trappe is a Dutch brewery.
Okay. But
here's the interesting thing. La Trappe is the one that actually came up with the term quadruple.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
they are the first to brew a quadruple.
They do fall under the Trappist, right?
No, I just misspoke. Sorry. They are the first to use the phrase quadruple.
Mm-hmm.
The beer itself, what we now call a quadruple, has been brewed for God knows how long.
Okay.
They were the first to come up with the term quadruple about 26 or 27 years ago.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, it's not even all. The term quadruple is pretty young compared to double and triple, because we all know, of course, Westmalle is the one that came up with the double and the triple.
Yeah.
They were the ones that came with the term quadruple.
Mm-hmm.
It is a stunning beer. I think a 6-pack is about €8.
Oh.
Not even. Talk about I just joked earlier about getting your buzz on for cheap. That's getting your buzz on for cheap. It's a very, very ageable beer, but it's not a Belgian quadruple. It's a Belgian style because it's not a Belgian. It is, however, what you just mentioned, a Trappist. It actually lost the rights to be a Trappist beer for a while.
Oh, I didn't hear about
that. Reclaimed. Yeah, you should Google that. There's a long history about, because some stuff happened and they weren't eligible for the term Trappist for a bit, and then some rules changed, or they made a bid for something, and it's a long history. You can Google it. It's pretty interesting. But yeah, Beer Geek Holland, he's right. I'm not sure if it's the best quad, but it is definitely one of the best.
Yeah. And then the oat version, I don't remember if I've ever had it. I feel like Matt from Massive Beer Reviews really likes these ones and did a review. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
See, the thing is, I know where to get them. I know how to order them. I know how to buy them here. The reason I never had one before, let's say there's a brewery right next to you, right? They brew an amazing imperial stout, and you can buy a 44 centiliter can for $6. And then they make a barrel-aged version, and they make it $8 or $9. You're like, cool, I get that. That's sweet. The 33 centiliter bottle of La Trappe Oak Age is less than €2.
The Oak Age one?
The normal one.
Okay.
Is less than €2. A 33 centiliter. An Oak Aged 37.5 centiliter goes for around €16. That price gap.
Yeah.
For a beer that is brewed on a near macro scale, going from less than €2 to, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's,
I know the beer is an amazing quality.
Yeah.
But it's a bit of a
detergent. It's much better. Yeah. We can get it here. I don't think the price difference is as, I mean, there is a price difference for sure, but it doesn't, the ratio is not the same as what you're describing. That's a lot.
It is. And it's, I don't mind paying €16 for a beer. Yeah. I don't mind paying €20 for a Bourbon County brand stout.
Yeah.
I mind the big gap in the price. And that's, for me, something that's holding me back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm brutally honest, and yeah.
Brandon, do you remember if it was a red wine barrel? I'm just curious. I feel like I see red wine, or like what kind of wine, I guess is a better question.
Yeah, that is since 1991. Oh wow, that's nearly 30 years then. Okay, my bad.
Amazing.
And he says that at the monastery, the barrel aged is €12.50. Well, still, that's a pretty big price difference. If it came in like a bomber, for example.
Yeah.
But for 37.5 centiliters.
Douglas, let me pull it up. Douglas, I'm a huge fan of Jackie O's. Yeah, the few I've had from them have been very good, but they cost about 15 or more in the Netherlands, but they're too good. Yeah, wow. I have a hard time getting those here. But yeah, the few I've had from Jackie O's, or yeah, maybe a small handful, have been very good quality. Yes.
So what would be just out of curiosity, because Douglas is part of a friend group, together with Beer Geek Holland and Dutch Beer Geek. Douglas is the only one who doesn't have a YouTube channel.
Okay.
So, dude, fix that, please. Yeah. How much would you pay for a bottle of Prairie in barrel-aged stout on average?
I think, and we have some at my local beer store. Like the Prairie regular bomb is $10 typically. I think the barrel aged versions are more in that 14 US dollars range.
13?
I believe in the 13 range or 14.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just checking something.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some they have. I passed up on them just because I have so much stuff to review already. And part of it was the additional price. Well, I do think they're very good beers, and I actually have some from different vintages still in my possession.
Yeah.
But they had the vanilla noir, maybe. I'm trying to remember what they had. I think they had two still on the shelf last time I was there.
I'm still listening to you, by the way, just because I am looking at my screen. Because
Brandon chimed in. Yes, it was a red wine barrel. I found it in Wisconsin, but never could find it here in the Chicagoland area. Yeah, man, that'd be good.
so I'm just
and these Hot Butcher for the World beers that I've been reviewing. Oh my God, they're so good, Brandon. In Wisconsin, we all know how much I love the Glarus fruited beers.
I wish I could get some of those Hot Butcher stuff, man.
It's crazy. Well, like about too, just like the shipping, the cost of the distribution, the cost of shipping, it's freaking nuts.
I know, man. I'm boasting a little bit. I was lucky enough the other day. No, not the other day. A few weeks ago. I can say this by now because the reviews were several weeks ago, 6 weeks ago. I was lucky enough to get a mystery beer. It was a Trillium. Now, I know for you, Trillium is already probably pretty impressive.
Oh, yeah. No, Trillium is very impressive, yes.
Yeah, but I'm Dutch.
Yeah.
It was shy under 2 months old. And talking about your whales,
Yeah. Do you remember which beer it was from them?
Oh, yeah. Do you got 2 seconds?
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, no, Trillium is a brewery that I think one of the things that impresses me the most about Trillium is that they nail so many different styles. Like people know them for their hoppy beers. I haven't had that one. Farnsworth Street. I've had some of their other Street Series ones, but I've not had that one.
That was genius.
Yeah,
that was genius. What? Just out of curiosity, what do you consider from the US of A? Mm-hmm. What would be a whale for you? Because most of the US beers are whales for me, of course. What would be a whale for you?
Oh man, I used to be more up on these, to be honest with you, like what people consider whales, and I'm kind of in my groove of the things I like or seek out versus whales. I mean, there are these super, hence my name, hyped breweries and beers and stuff for sure. Like Three Floyds, they do their Dark Lord Day, and I've had Dark Lord, very good. But then they'll do, some of these barrel aged variants. Some of those, people will consider whales. It's kind of like we were talking about earlier. It depends on the person as well. What people, classify as a hard to get. Like the like for my personal whale right now is, and it's not even out yet. Is Dogfish Head has their worldwide stout that they're aging in Sam Adams Utopias barrels.
What? Wait, what? So
two of my favorite
barrels that used to the barrels that used to have
the Utopias. Yeah.
Oh wow,
yeah. So that's my personal whale right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, and I guess if I'm not as much into trading beers as I used to be, and like kind of keeping up on what's the new cool whale stuff. But yeah, I do want to lean into that conversation with the Europe American craft beer thing for sure. Matt from Massive Beer Reviews is here. What's up, Matt?
Yeah, I just saw that, man. What up, Matty?
So yeah, we're right now we're trying to solidify. I think we have some answers from people, enough answers to do our Beer Tuber Palooza for 2020. So that was pretty exciting.
Dude,
Look at what Matt said.
I seriously wish. What up, Matt? I seriously wish I could make it. I hope I can make it this year, because you have to. I mean, I have to. The biggest problem isn't going to America. I can get a decently priced ticket, and if I can find a place to crash for a few days, that ain't a problem. The problem is bringing beers.
Come, who cares about that? Like,
no, man, dude, no. I'm not showing up at Beer Palooza without beers, dude. I mean,
if you can come without beer, that's better than you not coming because of not being able to bring beer. So that's not that's. But no,
we'll figure something out.
Yeah, Matt in the house. Hi, Matt. Oh, a little local celebrity on BeerTube. Matt's here. No, but yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, so we have a date set, and then the people who were able to come last year, sounds like that date works. So maybe in the near future we'll kind of. I don't want to. This is Matt's thing, so I'm not going to try to blow up his spot with central dates and stuff. Is that the golden candlelight bottle, Kyle? Yes. Yeah, it's here.
Of course he has one. Oh, of course he has one.
Well, yeah, this this is empty, yeah. But yeah, it's this one. So they took the Dogfish Head Worldwide Stout and aged it in the barrels that had contained this. This one actually won in a raffle, so I didn't spend too much money on that one.
Oh,
yeah,
lucky.
Yeah, but again, like, so that beer could be a whale for some people. For me, it's still sitting on the shelf around me. Matt bought one from Canada on the cheap. So like one person's whale is someone else's shelf beer apparently. So
no, but that's totally true. I mean, look at some of these people. I mean, that's the thing, I see guys like you. You're going like, I've seen Matt at some point doing Treehouse and Trillium like it was nobody's business.
Yeah.
And I know he got sent a few, but that means that there are people who can buy it like it's easy. And then I'm here sitting telling you like an app 12 is €2 for me. Like that would be $2.30 for you. Well, you have to pay. You said $24 for a 6-pack.
I believe that
a 4-pack.
24 for a 4-pack. Yeah.
That's $6.
Yeah.
A bottle. So, and it's still readily available for you, but I can see people thinking, no, that's a whale to me because I have to pay €6 a bottle.
Yeah. And again, like the whale culture. I mean, I'm sure there's some people who could watch this and be like, how did you not mention this? And I'm like, we're such a big country with so many craft breweries at this point. Like, yeah, there's stuff I don't even realize people are getting, going crazy for at this point. But yeah, so anyway, that's the one that's like my biggest whale right now for sure.
I think that's a big thing that you just mentioned there, though, because people tend to forget sometimes how big the United States are. There are states. Sorry?
I don't want to interrupt you, but I'm going to add on to your point, but I don't want to interrupt you.
Because I just wanted to say there are states over there that are the size of my country.
Yeah. Yes.
So, yeah, of course your guys are going to have beers over there. You could be West Coast, the West Coast, East Coast debate.
Yeah.
It would be the same for me saying, yeah, there's beers from Poland.
Yeah. Exactly. And you wouldn't even have traveled as far. No, the point I was going to make, and I don't think this will go over very well, but yeah, like Treehouse is 2 hours from me, and it's like, oh, it's 2 hours, But like I could see from a European point of view, like it's only 2 hours for you, and you don't go every single weekend, like.
If I did 2 hours for me too, if I could just, that's.
That's what I'm saying. I almost didn't say it. Yeah.
There are Dutch breweries that make me go, I'm not gonna drive 2 hours for a few of their beers.
All right. So Thomas, here's my promise to you. If you come over for Beer Tuber Palooza, I will make the trip to Treehouse and make sure you get some Treehouse. That's my promise.
No, but then I'm gonna promise that I'm gonna bring Dutch beers. I don't care how crappy they are. I'm gonna bring beers that you guys can't have in the United States, just so you can say. You know, there's a brewery here that I want to buy. Not the brewery. I want to buy beers from that brewery for you guys just because of the name of the brewery.
What is it?
Oedipus.
Oh, like
yeah, like the mommy complex.
yeah, loving
just
mother.
to be able to say like you guys had a Oedipus beer, you know, just
yeah,
just to be able to. And I mean, I like them. I like them. They're not bad, but you know what I mean? There's stuff from the Netherlands. Just so you guys can say, there's this little brewery from the Netherlands, and I can say I had those beers. But yeah, the thing is would be finding the time and everything. But we'll figure that out. And...
yeah, that'd be rad. Heck yeah.
Hey,
yeah, good.
Quick,
what's up?
A quick question. I'm just looking at my glasses.
Yeah.
I'm at cuvee level. How about you?
I think I could, yeah. Hello, Alec.
Yeah, you want to cuvee these bad boys?
I do.
Let's do it. Because I wonder. Yeah, see. This proves to me that when you strip away the higher ABV and the fact that one is a double and one is a quad, technically speaking, they're the same beer. You know,
the different levels of the same beer or whatever.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm understanding you.
That's as in separately, you can tell the difference, but if you blend them,
yeah,
it's not as if one adds to the other. You're basically still getting the same notes.
Yeah. You're probably, and I'm projecting onto what I think the taste is going to be. It smell. You can see from the smell how these have the same threads in it.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume when we drink it, any of that alcohol we had been talking about, won't be as present. Like that might be the biggest difference.
Yeah. It's much more mellow.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
That is in a lot of ways what I thought it would be, but also, wow.
This is what I want to drink.
Yeah.
This has the punch of the 12th with the mellowness of the 8.
And that alcohol, the little bit that was there, it is almost so removed you can't detect it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, Brandon asked, what are you guys mixing?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry, Brandon. Yeah, here we can get caught up on comments real quick. So yeah, Alex said hello. Hello, Alex. Douglas, I once said Scott, a beer friend of mine, also some Westie 12s. Yeah, Belgium Box. Great service. And a buddy of mine has gone over there and talked to the guy who runs Belgium Box. He says he's a really good dude in real life. So yeah, I'm all about Belgium in a box. Anyway, to Ohio, didn't get delivered at his house, but instead he had to go to the post office, and they already had open. Ooh. Luckily, it didn't get confiscated. Yeah, that is very lucky. Yeah, they don't play around sometimes. Alex, this beer is freaking amazing, dude. And Brandon, yeah, so that's the two things we're mixing right now. And welcome, thank you for coming, Brandon. So doing this international, beer reviews. I think actually, Thomas, you're the one who mentioned first doing a St. Bernardus beer, and then because we could both get them, and then you're like, oh, let's do the 8 and the 12. I'm like, yeah, perfect. So yeah, that's why we chose these two. So as we're kind of winding down inherently, just because we're at the cuvee stage, I did want to tell you a little bit. I was able to come to your country like 8 years ago, and we did Amsterdam, shocker. But then we did Delft, so we did the ceramics and the porcelain there, which was really cool.
Of course.
Very touristy, but it was cool to see the history there. Anne Frank's house, that kind of stuff. And then the beer temple in Amsterdam. blew my mind. Just have you ever been to that bar I'm talking about in Amsterdam, Beer Temple?
Yeah, we 8 years ago. I've heard of Beer Temple. I haven't been there, oddly enough. Go figure. In the last 8 years, things have gone quite explosive here in the Netherlands. Now, looking at the size of our country, and also please take into consideration the number I am about to name has a huge amount of contract breweries, okay?
Okay.
But on paper, we have just over 700 breweries right now.
Wow, okay. I mean,
now,
per capita.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Now, that number can't be sustained. That's impossible. And like I said, a lot of them are contract breweries. There's like these young kids who are like, yeah, you know what? I love beer, and beer is something I can make money with these days. So how about I just, I invest a little bit of my money, and I'm gonna have this brewery just make me some beers, and I'm gonna put my label on it, and I'm gonna get rich.
Yeah. So,
no.
Yeah.
The actual amount, of course, is a lot lower, but still, per capita, like you just mentioned, that's a lot. And in the last 8 years, we have a few great brew pubs. We have a few amazing breweries that will definitely, if the United States, if you guys were to ever figure out some of our breweries, there's a guy here who's 25 kilometers from where I live. He makes sour ales in the style of lambics.
Okay.
That, in my humble opinion, can rival the great Belgian names.
Okay.
And he's like 25 kilometers from me.
Which, I mean, is saying something. Jeez.
Definitely. Do you like wild ales?
Especially if they have fruit in them, yeah.
Yeah, you're going to love navel. Navel is a Dutch word for mist.
Okay.
Not fog, but mist.
Okay.
You're going to love those guys. So we're definitely, in the last decade, we have exploded when it comes to real good craft ale. And we have bombed and sank when it comes to the money grabbers.
Yeah.
Definitely. I just noticed, by the way, I just realized it's midday. You have the cover over your window.
Yeah, it faces west, so I hung a blanket up over it because it's my house is like exactly north south and then east west, and so it's the sun is setting, and then we talked about this off camera or on Instagram. Today was our daylight savings time, so I'm like it's even wonkier to me. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else. It was 2 full days there, so I mean, we tried to pack in as much as we could in 2 days, but obviously only kind of get a feel for a country. We did went to like a cheese farm, Edam cheese. Edam. So yeah, we did that, which again probably is a very touristy thing, I'm assuming, but
yeah. But it's awesome.
It was very good, and I did buy some and bring it back, and I aged it, and it was very good. But yeah, no, definitely enjoyed our time there. But anyway, that beer temple place, we were just walking around. We're just walking down the street, and a decent amount of English written on, if I remember correctly. And then I'm from what is considered or what is called the southern tier of New York State, the southern part of it, not New York City South, but like the bottom part of New York State. And they had some beers from this brewery called Southern Tier, which is in New York. And it was just weird. It was a beer I couldn't get in the United States that I drank when I was in the Netherlands. And it was so weird.
Do you remember which one?
It was called Farmer's Tan or something weird. It had a chicken on it. I remember that, or a rooster. And then I also did the Brewdog Sink the Bismarck. I remember doing those 2 beers there. Yeah. Well, but again, I couldn't get it anywhere else. So I'm like,
but that's the most. I once 2 or 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I was in Groningen, which is 25 kilometers from where I live.
Okay.
Yeah, I had Prairie's deconstructed vanilla bomb on tap for less than €6.
Really? Jeez.
I mean, go figure. You know what I mean? Sometimes when you go to a different country, stuff that you're like, yeah, but this is from my country.
Yeah.
And I know that when it comes to states and federal and everything for the United States, it's pretty complex, but still, just consider the United States as a country. The fact that you could go to Groningen, this entire different country on the other side of the planet, and you can get Prairie deconstructed bomb, vanilla bomb from tap for less than €6. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
How weird is that? I love that.
Well, and so I looked up some pictures from that trip before the broadcast, and it's like, so now I live close to this brewery called Saranac, and again, like, it's just weird. They had that at this place, and I don't know if they still carry Saranac or not, but just so weird. Yeah, like I went across the Atlantic Ocean. I'm in the Netherlands, and I'm drinking local beer. To me, there it was just it's such a wild experience. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, beautiful country. I know sometimes Americans get certain reputations internationally, so I just wanted, I appreciated your culture and really enjoyed my time there. And it was a really fun trip doing the Netherlands, Belgium, and then France. Yeah, heck yeah. Okay, something translated here.
Oh, Case lives pretty close by for me, and he knows the brewery I just mentioned, the one with the near Belgian level lambic style sours.
Yeah, okay.
It's called Van den Broek. I actually have a brown ale, one of their but not a brown ale as you would call a brown ale. We would call it like in the sour style of brown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean, yes.
Yeah. So I have one of their bottles on standby for a review. Actually, I think I'm going to do an English review of that one. That could be fun.
Is that like a what do they call it, like a brown Flanders style?
Exactly, that one.
Okay,
yeah, 7% ABV. So that's he's like saying that's great stuff, and it is.
I have a question about your English reviews. What's the rhyme or reason when you decide to do a certain beer with an English review?
Now, for me, it's either it should be mostly a Dutch brewery, or things like, for example, some of the Slavic countries, like, I say Slavic. I'm not sure if they're counted under the Slavic, but things like Lithuania.
Okay, yeah.
Estonia, things like that,
Yeah.
Poland.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, I don't know if you've ever heard of things like Pohala and Puhaste.
You're stumping me, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I know there's some stuff from that. Trust me, but oh man, I know exactly what to bring if I ever come to America.
Not here. When you come for Beer Palooza.
We'll make it work. No, but stuff like that.
Now, is that because of and I have been very fortunate to travel decently throughout Europe. So you're doing English because that's a common language for these different countries that you don't understand what you're saying since you don't.
But you know what the thing is, when I mean, every now and then you could probably hear an accent when I speak, but mostly when it comes, I noticed that when I was like 10 or 11, I think, my English was basically fluent, and there's so much terminology that works so much better in English. If I were to, in a lot of my Dutch reviews, I will use terms like weedy danky. You know exactly what I mean when I say weedy danky.
Yeah.
And a lot of Dutch people go like, huh?
Yeah. Okay.
Wat zeg je? The weedy danky, that you walk into that cellar, you got that weedy danky thingy, and that's what I want in my IPAs. And in the last year or two, that particular term has become a bit more widespread here because of course, YouTube. Guys like you, Matt, Joe, the things that you guys say make it a more accessible term. But there's a lot of times where I feel like I'm a bit stymied when I do my Dutch reviews, and when I do an English review, I feel that my terminology is more. I can express myself a bit better.
Gotcha.
And when I do an English review, I mean, yeah, there you go. Let's say tomorrow I get Hetty, or I get Julius or Green. That's going to be fantastic for you guys. Great, fun. Here's another guy doing another review of Green. But if you guys suddenly go like in the scene, and I know that on average my English reviews aren't viewed as much as my Dutch reviews, but if I do an English review of a Dutch IPA, I know that a lot of you guys are going like, hey, what the hell is going on in the Dutch IPA scene anyway? That's fun. I might not be able to get the beer, but at least I know what's going on over there.
Yeah. And you touched upon part of my thought process, being, someone who watches your reviews when I can and like it, I can understand it.
Mm-hmm.
From like the American point of me is like, oh, if you did an English review of an American beer, then I'm like, I can do. All right, okay. I can start feeling the beer is. I can start feeling it right now. So
me too. I've been noticing for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah. So what I used to do before I did beer reviews is like if I was drinking a beer, I might look on YouTube and see if someone had done a review, and then I would watch it as I drank and kind of like, okay, I'm getting this tasting note. They're saying this. I agree, disagree, whatever kind of a thing. So that's something that I would, as much as I do 100% agree with you that it's cool if you're doing a Dutch beer in English, I can now learn about that beer. It would also translate to me, and I understand your point, like if you're doing Hetty Topper and you're like the 50th guy who's done Hetty Topper review, I get that. But I also would appreciate it, and maybe this is just me specifically, because it's like, what's one more person's take on this, and I actually know the beer he's talking about. So, I 100% understand what you're saying. 100%. We have a couple comments I just want to get to.
Definitely.
Alex, hey Kyle, I've been watching for channel for a long time. I'm sure your reviews are wondering how many. Yeah, man. Like I said, beginning of this, I've never hosted one of these live streams before or whatever. But this is a lot of fun. I would totally do something like this with you, Alex. Yeah, get at me, okay? Get at me, Alex. Douglas, Kyle should also definitely try beers from. I know. I've had, and again, I'm really bad at pronouncing things. I've had, is it Jopen? The J-O-P-E-N. How do you pronounce your J's in Dutch?
Jopen.
It is Jopen. Okay, I have had Jopen beer before.
And the other one are, okay, here we go. Jopen.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Moersleutel.
Okay.
Which is a wrench.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. Navel, I just mentioned that one to you. Mist, Navel. Bronkhorster.
Okay.
You want to try that one? Bronkhorster?
I'll try anything, man. Yeah, so of that list, Douglas, Jopen's the only one I've had. But yeah, no, you're right. And I should, and my local beer store is a good European section of beer. I will go check out. I have a ton of stuff to review, okay? I promise. I will look for some Netherlands beers. Matt, Thomas, you don't have to worry about. Yeah, same thing I was saying, man.
Come on, dudes.
Yeah, I love this, Matt. Good, Matt. Good. Be worried about how much beer you leave with, and if you come, you're more than welcome. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'll go up and I'll grab Hetty Topper. I'll go to a Treehouse, whatever, man. I'll bring a suitcase, dude. This is ridiculous. If you come all the way across the Atlantic Ocean, and we gotta get you some, and maybe the other Dutch guys some, man. I love what you guys are doing at Dutch Collective, man. And Matt does too, obviously. Okay.
Geez, guys, come on. Okay, I mentioned this to Matt. I sent him a private message a few weeks ago, and this is you guys were about a year ago or so. I went through a pretty shitty phase in my life, and people like Matt and people like you, people like Joe, and all the friends that I have here in the Netherlands as well, by the way. Remy, Douglas, Gerben, you know, my bros. But it was guys like you really pulled me through. And so getting invites like that and you guys saying things like that, that means a lot to me, man. That touches me, man. That's wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
Do it up. And I get that. So I moved about a year and a half ago. So I knew a ton of people. I had all those friends and stuff. And I was thinking about this the other day, that the people I interact with now, like the most, besides my wife, are people through BeerTube. Like it's like I've talked about this probably 1,000 times at this point. Like those guys from Nerd Sense, like I talk to them every single day. Like they're some of my best friends. We've met in real life maybe 5 times. You know, like I literally, they love the comic book stuff I do. They love the beer stuff like I do. So I talk to those dudes every single day. So like, I totally get what you're saying, man. I totally get that.
The same thing, yeah. Because again, the guys like Douglas and Remy and Gerben, I see these guys a few times a year in real life.
Yeah.
But we in app groups like on WhatsApp.
Yeah,
we talk every single day, and it's amazing. And that's, I think, you know, let's quickly get back to that, because historically speaking, one of the things that really binds guys together like this is a good pint.
Yes. Yeah.
And look at what, not just a standard lager, but this craft beer community for people like us, you know, what it has done.
Yeah. It's so true.
Yeah, we grew friendships. And that's amazing. I think that's amazing. I think that one of the things that I really got from being a beer tuber is friendship.
I've said this story, I think only one time, but to talk about the Beer Tuber Palooza, I had met Matt a couple of times before that event. I met the Nerd Sense guys a couple of times before that. I hadn't met Joe from the Beer Patrol in real life. And so he was there first. I walk into the room, he's already there. And like, I don't even introduce myself because in my mind, I know him, you know? And then it kind of dawned on me, I'm like, oh, I should probably like shake his hand and say hello, because I've actually never actually met the dude in real life. But because of, I had talked to him, whether on YouTube or text messages or whatever. But yeah, no, heck yeah. I totally get it. Ken Beer Reviews, love this comment. That's surprising that the term weedy dank. Of all places, the Netherlands and the reputation of Amsterdam. Yeah, that's funny. Alex, seriously, man, send me a message, okay, bud? Heck yeah. Coming your way from Massive Beer Reviews. Nice. What's up, Cox and Tails? Oh, Pariah Brewing Company. What's going on, guys? Out from the West Coast. So now we got West Coast. We got me at the East Coast. We got across the Atlantic Ocean in the Netherlands. Heck yeah. Pariah, man, they're making some good beer. Beer Geek Holland, Matt, do you have more than one?
Yeah, I would quickly want to, because that's what Matt said, man. Matt, brother, seriously, that's amazing, dude.
Well, yeah.
I see the videos and I see how you live, and I'm like, spending a few days there, man, that would be,
it was
like
great.
A day or two, that would be poof.
It was so much fun. Yeah. And like the Nerd Sense guys and I stayed at a Airbnb together. Like it was maybe, I don't know, 2 miles from Matt's house. Like, so yeah, lodging is not an issue, Beer Geek Holland, at all. We will figure things out for sure.
Beer Geek Holland, we're gonna make this work, brother. We're gonna buy you. Speaking of beer uniting, Douglas Beer Unites. I was already talking with Remy for like months, and we got to know each other from, you know, the beer tubing and everything. And the first, that is how much of a friendship this creates. The first time we ever met in real life, first thing that happened was like a big bro hug. You know what I mean? And that's what this stuff does, man.
It's awesome. We got some new comments already. Nice. Yes. I misspoke. I don't work on comics. I'm a teacher. I'm a social studies teacher, actually. But I'm a big comic book fan for sure. I have a Facebook group that I'm an admin for comic books and like fantasy stuff. So I'm definitely all about that. Yeah, for sure, guys. Yeah, sorry, I misspoke before.
Wait. You're into fantasy?
So I focus on comic books, but we do fantasy stuff too. Yeah. I mean,
but novels as well.
I am a big reader. I don't know where you're gonna go with this. I haven't read Lord of the Rings, for example, but I read all the Well, okay, go ahead. Where are you going with this?
The Dark Tower.
Ah.
Have you read it?
No.
You should.
I know. I do want to. It's on my list.
You need to read at least the first June novel.
Okay.
You're gonna love it. Trust me.
Okay. It's on my list. I do. It is on my list. So the next thing I'm going to read is this Rod Serling from the Twilight Zone. I don't know. Was that a show that they from America that went over your way or no?
That sounds vaguely familiar.
Black and white show back in the day, sci-fi, usually with a social message. I was a huge fan. I learned later in life that he was actually from my hometown, which was really cool. So it's a graphic novel about his life. They just brought the show back with Jordan Peele, who did that movie Us and Get Out, and he was on that show Key and Peele. Again, I don't know what always from the United States gets exported TV show and media wise, but anyway, yeah. So that's the next thing I'm reading.
Okay.
A couple other things, but I do want to read that Dark Tower for sure. Camp Beer Reviews. It's blown me away the friendships. Never expected anything like that when I first started. Yeah, as I mentioned not too long ago, I was watching other people's reviews as I maybe drank the same beer. And then being a teacher, I'm like, well, I explain things for a living. I guess I could probably explain what I'm tasting. So I was just going to be, in my mind, another voice who just said, this is what I taste in this beer. The coolest byproduct of beer reviews has been the community. No question.
Yeah.
No question. Yeah.
It's amazing that we have this great group of people who have found a way to both combine drinking a lot of beer with great people.
But you were so right. I mean, the idea of friendships forming over a pint of beer, we're just adding the the new technology piece to that. It's the same exact kind of a thing, I mean, literally, we're how many miles apart, or kilometers, sorry, apart from each other, and and it's with technology. I mean, there's not even a lag as we're talking. This is incredible. It's wonderful. Awesome, all about nice, yeah. Marvel or DC? So I am a Marvel guy, but I like both actually. But I am a Marvel guy more than DC. Yeah.
Well, see, the thing is, when it comes to comics, especially in my neck of the woods, buying comics isn't always the easiest thing. Now, I remember when I was buying comics and reading comics, I was my favorite superhero was always Batman. For the same reason why in the Marvel universe I love Iron Man.
Okay.
Because we're talking about people who didn't become.
Yeah.
We're talking about people who chose.
Yeah.
And I always find that very interesting. When it comes to movies, definitely Marvel. Yeah. And oddly enough, I had a talk about this with somebody today. The DC movies suck for one big reason: editing. The editing in Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Justice League, even the most popular one, Wonder Woman. Yeah. The editing is horrendous, atrocious, and garbage. And it destroys the entire flow of the movie. So as much as I love Batman, when it comes to movies, Marvel.
Yeah. You know what? I definitely felt that way with Justice League and Suicide Squad. I'll have to kind of think about that the next time I'm watching those movies. Okay.
Definitely Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad. Apparently, I didn't know this. Somebody mentioned this to me today. And that's because of there's so much going on in terms of editing and quick shots in Suicide Squad. Remember the scene in Suicide Squad where the Joker is laying on the floor surrounded by stuff and he's laughing?
Yeah, yes.
And he has all these weird trophies around him. They're baby rompers around him. Like the little things when a baby is like a few months old and you have to put a romper. Yeah. He has a few of them around him.
I didn't know that.
No, but that's fucking disturbing. Sorry, my language. You don't notice this because the movie is edited so horribly.
Yeah.
Somebody had to point that out to me. That's both disturbing and an interesting little nod in the movie.
Yeah.
But it's also something that gets lost because of all the quick takes.
Yeah. Yeah, I had no idea of that specifically, and yeah, I do agree that editing. I now watch because I don't have the app for the new the CBS app for Twilight Zone, but I'm like really excited to watch it. Nearby, Belgium is very big for comics. Oh, good. I mean, I hope the movies are translating to people going back to the comics. That'd be pretty rad. I'm a little ordinary sometimes, so I was a fan of Marvel's Darkhawk, one of the 10 Worldly fans. I once met Stan. Oh, very cool. Met Stan Lee, Stan the Man. You stumped me on Darkhawk. I'll have to look that up. Darkhawk, okay.
Best Stan Lee cameo in the movies when he's reading the script from Mallrats.
In Captain Marvel. That's my favorite one.
True believer.
That's my favorite one too, and that's because like it was the last, but it was.
Yeah, but it felt like when Deadpool commented in the Deadpool movie, it's like fourth wall, breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, it was.
That's like 16 walls.
When they made that movie, they used a take where she kind of looked at him for just like one extra beat because it was gonna be like the last one, and it was. That was so perfect. Marvel movies are just more. Yeah, that is so true. And not that darker, content or movies, books, whatever can't be good, obviously. But yeah, if it's all brooding, it might be less interesting. I don't know. That's a fair point. And new Twilight Zone is Redbeard. I gotta check it out, man. I got to.
Here's an interesting take, and I'm going to do a quick comment about the beer, by the way, the cuvee that we did.
Yeah.
Is it me, or even though this beer is in no way barrel aged, when we did the cuvee, the vanilla and the oak pop a bit more, and it had a big, huge cherry note.
I finished it. I definitely noticed the cherry. I didn't, for whatever reason, pick up on potentially that again, not barrel aged, but that vanilla or barrel thing. But I did get more cherry for sure. Yeah, and I don't know if it's just because the beers opened up more because of time or temperature, but definitely for sure got more cherry out of it. Yeah, that I can confirm.
And as a quick note on the comic thing that we were talking about, the movie aspects. The thing that DC got wrong when it comes to the movies, they're making movies about Wonder Woman, about Batman, and about Aquaman. And that's why they dropped the ball, because Marvel realized we're making movies about Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, Yeah. They're making movies about these people, not about their alter egos.
It's pretty obvious to say based on like box office and stuff. I mean, Marvel has figured out the right blend of the humanity of the character emphasis, the humor as mentioned before. Their interconnection makes more sense, and like what DC was trying to do, and they kind of rushed it, which was so obvious on the screen that they're trying to like rush things together in a shared universe together, whereas Marvel felt more organic. Not that Marvel hasn't had missteps, obviously, but yeah. So Redbeard's basically saying the same thing I'm saying.
Yeah.
DC 100% went into Justice League way too soon. Yeah, I mean, and actually, when I look at those DC movies, my favorite ones are the solos. I do think like Wonder Woman, Man of Steel, Shazam, even Aquaman.
I haven't seen Aquaman yet. Shazam is fantastically funny.
Yeah.
Man of Steel is hugely underrated.
Yeah, and I think, oh no, for sure. And I think when you then watch Batman versus Superman or Justice League, yeah, it's just like, well, poor Henry. He does this great job as Superman. He gets a sequel, and it's Batman versus Superman. Like his character's not even mentioned first in the sequel. Yeah, that drives me crazy. Anyway, yeah, that's like super nerdy, but it drives me crazy. Like he was doing a great job. Man of Steel, fine, great movie.
And then we got the opportunity with Ben Affleck.
Yeah,
who did a fantastic Batman.
So good.
And they totally forgot about the fact that he's supposed to be Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, yeah. And you have Ben Affleck, like he could obviously pull off this, playboy kind of a Bruce Wayne character, and they don't lean into that. And he was the best on-screen Batman we've had for sure.
I mean, look at, and I'm gonna go out there. We've seen a few tidbits now.
Yeah. I know where you're going.
Yeah. I think. No, not I think. I hope they might have actually nailed it this time. Look at that Batmobile.
Yeah.
Look at that suit.
Yeah.
And look at the fact that they realized when we're going for a young playboy millionaire, let's get Robert Pattinson, who has proven to be a fantastic actor in small bits. Like not small bits like small roles, but small movies.
Yeah.
Like not huge. This guy can act.
Yeah. If you only know him from like the Twilight movies. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he got a lot of hate because of those movies. But no, he is a great actor for sure. Yeah, and it seems like a different take. The younger one and all that. I think being early on in the Batman career was smart. So yeah, I'm definitely hopeful for that. Yeah.
Me too.
All right, let's see. I want to make sure I get okay. So Beard. Totally agree with Man of Steel's criminal. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, people really like that movie more than they seem to. It was Superman being Superman, awesomeness. Yeah, and some people like when he kills Zod. Superman has had to kill before. Like that, read a comic book anyway.
Yeah, but so did Batman. Like, what's this bullshit about Batman not killing? Batman has killed so often.
People don't know what they're talking about. Netflix thinks, good call. Bring up the Netflix stuff. Lock and Key, yeah, Sandman, Umbrella Academy. The Boys is on Hulu, but yeah, Netflix is doing. They just had that Lock and Key was so good. There was
I haven't seen it yet.
I watched it had it had the word August in it or October. No, it had the word October in it. That was great.
Oh God. With
I'm sorry. Yeah, it has
the same actor who played Captain John Harriman in Star Trek Generations, I think.
I can't pull. I'm sorry.
Oh my God! I'm so glad I have my phone right next to me.
Yeah, but yeah, like Lock and
Key. You go. Keep talking. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, Lock and Key was so good. Or no, yeah, I'm sorry. I said Hulu. Amazon has The Boys, and yeah, that's so good. I also like Spawn. Apparently, they're making this new movie with Jamie Foxx. We'll see. The Lighthouse. The Lighthouse. You stumped me with that one. And then a new
October Faction.
October Faction.
October Faction. That's the one you mean. There you go.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, Cox and Tails. Thank you. A new Spawn movie would be cool. The old one, yeah, yeah, fair enough. But yeah, apparently they're making a new one with Todd McFarlane. I think directing, right? The live action adaptation of the old. Oh, yeah, that old cartoon. Was that a? I remember that old cartoon. Was that HBO who did the old cartoon? That was really good.
Old cartoon of
for Spawn.
See, I'm Dutch.
Spawn.
Was that also, by the way? Yeah. By the way, yeah. Somebody just fucked off. Oh, there you are. Yeah, I know Spawn. Okay. I'm just thinking that movie was actually not even all that bad.
It's a product of the time. I'll put it that way. It's a
there you go.
Yeah. Oh, Sean from Nerd Sense is chiming in. Yeah, Redbeard said it's. I think it's HBO. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's HBO. Todd McFarlane. What's up, Sean? Well, unless Mike hacked your account and it's Mike, but otherwise, no, it's definitely Sean. Todd McFarlane said he's launching a Kickstarter. The old school Spawn figures. Oh yeah, very cool. Okay, I don't think we talked about that, Sean. The Lighthouse with Robert. Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking in the comic book realm for the Lighthouse. Yeah. Yeah, it was HBO.
I just need to quickly say something. Yeah. Kees Bouwman, he asked, "Are we still talking about beer? Goodbye." Yeah, Kees. You know that's the thing with live streams, Kees. We talk about shit, man. We just had 2 beers. What do you expect? Yeah. He's a nerd. I'm a nerd. Nerd Sense walked in. Redbeard walked in. We're talking about stuff.
Too funny. Yo, Redbeard. Okay, so it was along the lines of the Max and the Head. Max was good. I watched that. The Head, I was obsessed with, and I actually don't know many people who even know what I'm talking about. So very cool, Redbeard. Yeah, if you haven't seen The Lighthouse yet, it's Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe, amazing. And then yeah, sorry to see you go, obviously. Yeah, well, yeah, we ran out of beer to talk about. I mean, we can talk about beer stuff, I suppose.
I can get more beer. That's not an issue. I have, I don't know, 120 beers here. I can get a beer.
All right, I'll grab. I got a beer right here. I'll grab a beer.
No, but hey, dude. Oh, hey, I don't mind doing another beer, but I just realized. Check the time.
If it's we've been about talking 5 o'clock my time. Oh, yeah. It's about, what's it, 10 o'clock your time?
Yeah, but we've been talking for like 2 hours.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That's including the failed first attempt.
It was like 5 minutes, okay? Well, no, like we were saying before, though, I mean, we're getting to know each other over a pint, you know. I mean, that's what this is, you know.
Exactly, that's beautiful, and we should definitely do this more often, though.
Well, and there was some peripheral conversations about this. Like, it would be really awesome to do more, you know, across the Atlantic stuff for sure. And you know, there is a language barrier too, obviously, for people, but it would be really awesome to do more of these, myself included, or you with other people, and if there's anyone else over there who, unfortunately, I can only speak English. But if there's anyone,
but no, we could do. I know that Beer Geek Holland. I know that English isn't his primary, but yeah, I think he can pull it off. And Dutch Beer Geek can definitely. We could do the 4 of us together.
Okay, heck yeah. And to have someone who can help facilitate a little bit when needed. But yeah, that'd be great, Thomas.
And on the other end, if you're ever like, dude, there's some of you American guys, I am always willing to chime in.
Well, that's what
get some Canada up in here.
I'm happy and would love to keep doing these for sure, but it would be really rad to see other people and just keep the community growing, you know. And then Redbeard, you got some Canadian right there. I love it. Yeah, let me click on these. Okay, he's staying. Yay, good. And we get to know you. That is really nice about these live streams. And people, you know, they don't have so much time to watch so many things. I get that too, obviously. But that is one of the really cool things about these. You get to know the people as people, which I think is rad.
Absolutely.
Definitely should expand into the there's some cool Canadian. So earlier we're talking kind of like, obviously there's people in the United States who do this. Obviously there's people in the Netherlands who do this. There are also, and there's overlap in communication between these people sometimes. The other group I can think of is, yeah, there's Canadian guys for sure.
Canadian.
Yeah. But yeah, other than, for me anyway, other than Canada, the Netherlands, United States, this might be my own ignorance. I don't know other countries who do this stuff, or at least I'm not aware of it as much.
There's the United Kingdom.
Okay.
There's a few small ones, and I'm not going to name anybody, but there's a big one that's, yeah. And yeah, but there's definitely a few in the UK.
There are some, you're right there, but like how I think, and maybe it's just because of this last year, like you guys doing your Dutch collective, or like, you know, Matt having done this Beer Tuber Palooza, and like he had invited a lot of people. Not everyone, obviously, because that's impossible, but not that it feels cliquey. I don't want it to ever feel like that, but yeah, like when I think of like some of the Canadian guys, I know they kind of interact with each other. I guess I just made it kind of that circle of people, not just countries, but yeah.
How about we from the Dutch Beer Collective are setting up our second annual bottle share thing.
Nice.
How about we make sure that when we have set a date, we inform a few of you guys, and we can set up a live stream.
That'd be rad. That'd be really cool.
That would be amazing.
That'd be really cool. Yeah, because this is to do. I mean, that'd be rad. Yeah, Nerd Sense. I mean, I talk about these guys all the time. I mean, if you're watching my stuff and you don't watch Nerd Sense, I don't know what's wrong.
I watch Nerd Sense. You guys rock, man.
Those guys are awesome. So yeah, that'd be a good one for people to obviously subscribe to. I love these guys, but also, yeah, for doing stuff like this, they'd be a really cool channel to do. Have you tried the Intergalactic Bounty Hunter?
No, man, I haven't, because I wanted to, because step back. De Moersleutel, like one of the biggest Dutch breweries when it comes to huge imperial stouts. Like, these guys release so many beers a month, and a lot of them are very big imperial stouts. One of their big beers a few years ago was the Bounty Hunter, and they released a new version, Intergalactic Bounty Hunter, which is when the name of Bounty and stout. You can sort of see where this is going.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a big, huge coconut stout.
Yeah.
I've heard a few negative comments on the Intergalactic Bounty Hunter that sort of make me go, and there's the thing, and that's an interesting thing to quickly note on. FOMO.
Yeah.
And there's a point where you just need to say, okay, you know what? I have a limited amount of space in my house.
Yeah.
My body can only take so much. My wallet is only this deep.
Yeah.
At some point, I need to skip beers. And the thing with the Moersleutel is, I'm a Moersleutel fanboy. I am. But with the amount of beers that they release every month, is that your cat?
You can hear that? Yeah, my cat is so old and loud and
oh, dude, trust me, I am so
in a different floor.
I used to love my cat, and I'm so happy in a weird way, and this isn't funny, but I'm kind of happy at some points that I don't have a cat anymore.
Oh, she wakes us up every single night. I haven't had a full night's sleep at my house. I don't remember the last time. Yeah.
When I love cats, and I really want a new cat, and I miss my old cat so much, but just being able to sit on the couch and watch a movie without every 5 minutes hearing a meow, meow, that's kind of nice.
Yeah, that's what she's wailing for nothing. I know for a fact that she has food and water. My my wife's. I don't know if my wife's come home yet, but I think I'm the only person in the house right now, so I don't know what she's wailing for. Yeah. All right, let's get caught up with some comments.
Yeah.
Just make sure you tell Matt next time. Don't be stepping, son. I won't be stepping. Don't worry. We can talk about beers and comics all day. Sounds like a good day to me. Same here, Redbeard. Heck yeah. Ike is also Canadian, like Terrence and Phillip from South Park. First ever Redbeard beer is happening May 23rd.
Sorry, that took a few seconds. Don't kick the baby.
In North Bay, and wants to take a little trip. Oh, cheers, Cox and Tails. The Bounty Hunter was great indeed, Thomas. And I have a new psychotic kitten. Yeah. I'm gonna open this door so the cat wants to come in.
Kitty.
Sweet Pea. Sweet Pea, come here. Sweet Pea. No,
no, but
here. Here, cat. Here. Yeah. Here we go. International famous. Yeah.
Kitty.
Yeah. You want to sit up here?
I missed my cat.
I didn't throw her. There's a bed here, so I just realized.
No. That's cool.
She's safe. See, everything's good. I'm not a monster. I didn't throw her away.
Was that a T-Rex? Or was that the cat? That's the cat. Never.
Yeah.
Sorry, the cat at that moment when you turned the camera had a posture like a T-Rex. So I was like, "What the hell?"
Oh, brother. All right. So, Kitty, we have one too. She only meows if she needs. Yeah, I don't. She's like 17 years old. So, yeah, it might be like she might be in pain. We don't know. The vet said to give her CBD oil to like calm her down, and didn't work. Brandon drinking an Anchor Porter Classic. Can't believe how complex this beer is being brewed since 1972. Yeah, Anchor. You know what? You got to give those guys credit for sure.
Oh yeah. No, see, Anchor is one of those. I know Anchor. Anchor is one of those breweries that it's on that level of is it? Do you know breweries that are on a macro level but aren't macro?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That, yeah, they produce in huge amounts and still maintain this sort of craft level.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
You get the, they're one of the originals in the United States for sure. And just that time, you kind of forget about it. I'm glad Brandon mentioned that because, I kind of forget about Anchor, as a brewery. And, you got to give them respect for sure. And their steam beer. Hey, that cat's just staring at me. Hey.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah. I don't know what she could possibly want.
Attention.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
Aww.
Hey. Yeah, 17 years old. Yeah, crazy. Hey. So in terms of craft beer, between, and again, we can specifically the Netherlands and also whether we want to do the greater Europe or not, and then United States or greater North America, because Canada has definitely been getting a more vibrant craft beer scene as well. You said something earlier that I thought was interesting, how a beer like this is, for most people in your world, a special beer or a special event beer or and I was having this conversation yesterday with some people at that beer fest I was talking about before. Like, even like my grandparents drank craft beer. Like, that's how much, at least in my world, where people here are drinking or at least trying or throw it into the equation where they drink craft beer somewhat on like maybe like once a week even, So I'm curious, kind of like when you say something like this, like a special beer, like once a week, once a month, just their birthday? Like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. That's why what Well, we don't really have. See, craft means there's a connotation you have with the word craft, right? And we don't really have a word that I can think of right now that would have the same connotation. What we call literally translated, if I take the two words and literally translate it, what we would call this in the Netherlands speciaal bier.
Okay.
Special beer.
Yeah.
Now, you guys have a term that you call craft beer.
Mm-hmm.
And there's probably beers out there that you would say, this isn't craft beer. I would call this a special beer.
Okay.
And I sometimes think that for the Netherlands, we sort of miss this. We have a sort of missing link. Like there's beers out there for you that you would say, this is for me special.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people who only drink macro lager. And every now and then would crack open one of these.
Yeah.
While this is what we would consider craft beer, you and I.
Yes. Yeah.
And there's beers like Horus. Hello? Are you still there?
Yeah. Must have just reset.
Yeah, your image froze for a second. Now let's say, for example, Horus. That's pretty whaley, I think, for you guys, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now that is what you would probably consider. This is a special beer for me.
Yeah, that's where I was wondering if you're going to take this. Yep.
Yeah, and Douglas just said AB 12 is a shelfie, as Matt would call it. That's a great term. I love the term shelfie.
It is here.
That's what I would say. What most people would say here in the Netherlands is craft beer. For me, would be shelfies.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. No, it does. And I'm trying to think. So, not that your special beer is our whale, but I think based on the kinds of beers being produced in the different countries or whatever, craft beer is more of our baseline.
Yeah.
A shelfie is more of your baseline, but then there are all these things that I might only drink, like on a special occasion.
Yeah.
And this one, as much as I like this beer, would not be probably something I'm considering for a special occasion. Yeah.
Exactly. Could you remove the comment thing for a second?
Yeah. Sorry.
No, that's not a problem. But okay, macro, right? Macro lager.
Yep.
Special beer, as we would call it.
Yeah.
Right. You guys would have macro.
Yeah.
Craft.
Yeah.
And then, for example, Horus.
Yeah. Yeah.
We sort of have that missing link, I feel, for most people. And that's why I'm saying for you guys, the craft beer industry is a lot bigger than it is in the Netherlands for the average public. That's basically my point.
Do you ever look at your analytics and see where people, like what countries people are watching your stuff from?
Oh, Jesus. Sometimes I do. And half of it.
I'm just wondering if like 90%, I got all this freaking cat hair in my.
Sorry.
Like, cat freaking, like, God.
Sorry. I just got sidetracked. My phone blinked for a message, and I just got a message that makes me go, "Oh my God." Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Sorry. Yeah.
Are you okay?
No. Yeah.
Okay.
You were saying.
What was I saying?
About the macro and the craft and.
For your analytics, just in terms of like where people are. Okay. Sorry. You talking about how maybe craft beer, how I think of it in the United States, is different in the Netherlands, and for you guys. And I was just wondering, when you look at like percentage of people who watch your videos, is it mostly Dutch people watching?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. How about for you? Because
I have what seems to be a decent number of international people. I'd have to look it up real quick. But yeah, it was higher than I thought. I'll look it up real quick. Yeah, let's comment on some of the comments too.
Yeah, please do.
No stuff from Wales, guys. Hello from Wales?
No. I don't speak Welsh.
Yeah, sorry. I'm gonna assume it's hello from Wales.
I'm guessing.
Special is something that's hard to get a hold of. Yeah, I think from the American point of view, we're more inclined to think that. Audience, my little city of 50,000 people has 3 craft breweries. Wow.
Wow.
All right. Here, while I look this up, you take Matt. Oh, okay. I found it.
I'm not gonna take Matt, dude.
80. It's only 86% of people who watch my videos are from the United States. It doesn't.
I'm gonna look that up in a moment, but I'm gonna go to this one. Beer can be craft and a shelfie at the same time. Think about it like a Belgian dark beer. All Belgian quads are Belgian dark ales, but not all Belgian darks are quads. That's a great freaking comment, and leave it to Matt to go for that one. Yeah, Matt, you're completely right, because yes, the beer can be craft and a shelfie, and I think this is one of the. Kyle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Star Wars on your ass. It's a certain point of view. And that depends on terminology and region.
Yes.
So I get what Matt is saying, but for here, again, what I'm saying is that for most Dutch people, there's macro lager and there's speciaal beer. Again, what I just said. There's a sort of missing link there. I know a lot of people. Have you ever heard of Leffe? Leffe.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah. Now, I know people here who go like, oh yeah. I drink beer. I love beer. I love my Heineken. I love my Hertog Jan. I love my Grols. And when I want to go real special, I'm gonna buy a Leffe.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah, that's a perfect.
This, and for me, if I'm at a birthday and somebody goes like, I have Pilsner, like crap macro lager, and I have Leffe, right? And then there's craft beer.
And even that is a macro. I mean, yeah.
Exactly. So that's that. Beer can be, and it so depends on where are you from, what did you grow up with?
Yes.
And how do you determine what is special or not?
Yes. No, I agree. It's interesting. 7,000 people in our city. We actually just got a brewery. Nice, good. Yeah. It's interesting to think about per person or per capita. Yeah, like what's sustainable for breweries. It's causation correlation thing. Craft beer isn't craft because it's not distroed. It's just so happens a lot of craft beer. Yeah, no, for sure.
Can you quickly explain distro to me?
Distributed.
Oh,
yeah. And again, this is just a difference maybe and again, I want to speak for all of Europe when we're talking about the Netherlands specifically, but I do wonder how much of that is true of the continent, just the Dutch or not. But yeah, I mean, and people think of things because it's not craft, like drinking a Bourbon County. That's not craft, technically speaking. That doesn't fit our definition of independent or craft. Wow. But it certainly would be a special beer.
Oh yeah,
beer I would drink on a special occasion to kind of get just to kind of maybe have a bridge between what your world is from where you live and my world where I live. That is not craft in either place, and that would be maybe a special beer for both of us in both places. But yeah, no, I agree with Matt for sure.
I do. I actually completely agree with Matt, just like you do. I'm just trying to bring that point of view for, yeah.
That's interesting. That's a great explanation, Matt, from Massive. Yes, it is. We all agree for sure. Cheers, guys. Rod J in the house. What's up, bud? He also went to a beer fest yesterday. I hope he's recovering okay. Hello to Rod. Cheers back to Redbeard. Do you also have some Belgian viewers, Thomas? Oh, that's a good question. I mean, being so close geographically, do you know if you have some Belgian viewers?
I think I have a. See, the thing is, I use. Oh God, I'm not. I use Instagram to sort of promote my channel a little bit. I think you do as well.
Yes, I
And
do.
I know that there are people from Belgium who respond, but shy, shy. I shall. YouTube Studio. Um,
It used to more, I think when I started, it was better about telling me what countries people were watching from. Now it just tells me United States, and then this other percentage is not from the United States. Where it used to tell me a better breakdown.
would you want to know something funny? So the most views, 82% are Dutch.
Okay.
17.7% is other. And according to these analytics, 0.3% is Russia.
Really?
But that's oddly specific.
That is oddly specific. And why would that one show up? That's interesting.
I don't know why. That's very oddly specific.
That's weird. Yeah.
Like
Okay.
I have Netherlands, others,
And
Russia. That's it.
That you know from Russia.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about the other countries, just Netherlands, other, Russia.
That's what I'm saying. Like mine used to say more of that, not other. And then, yeah, that's pretty random. Russia's accounted for. Here's the Matt. I didn't know you were there. Drinking a double dry hot brew as you live stream. Cheers, friends. What's up, KPU? Here in the States, most people follow the craft beer definition by the Brewers Association here, which I'm glad Rod does then say, which is subjective in a way too, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Sean from Nerd Sense. Would Bourbon County, it was kind of when we were talking about that, be special but not craft?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is definitely a thing that is becoming, that's definitely a subject in the Netherlands, in the beer geek craft beer scene, where people are like, yeah, you know what? I love the flavor, I love the profile, I love the aromatics, and I love everything about BCBS.
Yeah.
But I don't consider it craft.
It's not, yeah, wouldn't fit our definition of craft. Then is there another category for whatever, flavorful beer or just like well-made beer or again special? I do think it's interesting. I worked at a beer fest yesterday. Not as much fun as going to a beer fest. Redbeard.
I'll do this one. So supermarket special beer is sort of like this missing layer compared to well, you would call it a liquor store.
Okay.
Liquor store beers, where you go into a specialty shop that deals with high-end wine and good single malt beer, single malt whiskeys, and would also have craft beer.
Okay.
You know what I mean? A special store for high-end alcoholic beverages. And then you go into your supermarket. Now, you just mentioned Brewdog a little bit earlier when you talked about St. Bismarck. Brewdog would be one of those breweries for that. Basically, when it started out with the "we're punk," and yeah, you know, I'm sorry, but F you guys, you're macro as hell.
I mean, they act like it at least. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can walk into any supermarket now and buy Brewdog.
Yeah.
You can walk into any supermarket and you can buy Leffe.
Yeah.
But you can't walk into a supermarket and buy. Now, and here's the funny one. You can't walk into a supermarket here in the Netherlands and buy BCBS. I can walk into a supermarket in the Netherlands and buy Goose Island IPA.
Interesting.
There you go. See what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
What is special beer?
Yeah.
And what is craft beer?
That is interesting. Okay, that complicates things.
There we go.
So, and then in the United States, it depends on the state. yeah, if you can go to a liquor store to get the beer or the wine, like yeah, every state's different. It's a cluster anyway. What's the most hype brewery in Belgium right now? Do you think it's the one you're talking about before that does the lambics?
Yeah, if I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna get.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you know what I'm gonna say. They're fantastic. They're amazing. And you guys go nuts for it. And I would murder for a lot of it, but it is hyped. That's Cantillon. Or Drie Fonteinen. These guys, I would murder. Sorry?
I read Belgium, but I was processing the Netherlands. My bad.
Yeah. No, I would murder for a lot of the beers there, because a lot of the beers that Drie Fonteinen and Cantillon do are difficult for me to get.
Yeah.
But I would still consider it hyped.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because people will get the most basic of Cantillon lambics and freak the F out.
Yeah.
Because it's Cantillon.
Yeah.
It's Drie Fonteinen. And they also do releases that are a lot more complex, a lot more sought after, small batch. And I get that, but it doesn't mean that, like I said, I'm gonna get shot for this. I am. This was everybody. I was Thomas Opent. My channel is now dead, and
send a search party.
Yeah, I effed up here.
That's funny. That's funny. Putin. Yeah. So that Putin is watching you from Russia. Yeah, maybe you are right. Yeah, that's funny. You'd be surprised. Yeah, I'm sure working a beer fest is a lot of fun. Yeah, no, for sure. Redbeard. Bourbon County Brand Stout isn't craft by definition, correct? But many, here a lot of people will call it crafty because it has that characteristic of flavor, things like that a craft beer would, but does not fit the definition. So yeah, we do like that term crafty here. I agree with you, Rod. In the Netherlands, we call him Putin, but they call him the translation from the Cyrillic alphabet to a Greek and Latin-based alphabet for sure. Can buy Bourbon County Brand Stout here in this. For sure. Yeah, our supermarkets here in New York State, I can get Bourbon County.
What?
Yeah. At the grocery store, I can. Yeah, and usually the best price because they don't do like markup because of hype or something. It's the OH of Belgium. I'm gonna assume by OH you mean other half of Belgium. And what's both your favorite style of beer? I don't. Do you homebrew? We didn't talk about that.
How about because how about we leave this as the last comment?
Yeah, that's fine.
Because it's been like 2.5 hours, and it's I do have work in the morning.
Yeah, I have to eat some dinner. It's fine. Let my dog out.
I'm gonna leave. How about you go first?
All right, so I don't homebrew, and my favorite style of beer depends on the day. I will say that right now, being a little colder, I am, and we've been talking about this style a little bit recently. A nice bourbon barrel aged stout right now is going to be my favorite. Mm-hmm. Ask me in the summer when I'm drinking, more like IPAs and stuff. I'm sure I'll change my mind, but right now, I think about what's the next bourbon barrel aged stout I want to drink and review. So for right now, that's my answer.
Now I don't homebrew. I drink. I don't brew. My favorite style, I will always go back to OG Imperial Stout, Russian Imperial Stout. With the Russian Imperial Stout having a little bit more of that roasty, toasty bitterness. With or without a barrel age, depending on. And that's mostly because I've mentioned this in a lot of my Dutch reviews lately. I am very much lactose tired. The sweet stouts, the milk stouts, the lactose stouts have been overdone, and I felt that while they were very cool for a long time, I'm coming back to my and I love this expression from Matt. Matt, if you're still watching, I love how you coined this phrase. Roy Driesen just says lactose moe, which is lactose tired. Tired of it. 4-core.
Yeah.
I have fallen in love all over again with my 4-core, whether that be an IPA, whether that be an Imperial Stout, whether that be a Pilsner. 4-core is where my heart is at right now. And I would say that any style for me right now is my favorite, as long as it's 4-core.
Yeah.
With the exception of a very well done barrel aged, because I also feel that a lot of styles these days are either too heavy on the barrel, like I'm drinking bourbon, or you pay $15 for a bourbon barrel aged stout, and you're kind of going like, where though?
Where is it? Yeah.
Yeah, that.
I
so
can see that. No, I definitely see that, and I use the pendulum analogy. Like so, I've gone pretty far one way with extreme beers. I still like those and want those, so I'm trying to like split that pendulum where I'm still staying over there, but I am trying to do some more. I did some very classic West Coast style IPAs recently, and it's just like, oh yeah, these beers are amazing as well. So I totally understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, you did that great. What did you do the other day? Was it Pliny?
Yeah. Classic, obviously. For I mean the original, double IPA, Pliny the Elder. I mean, come on.
Now, I haven't had Pliny itself, but in the style, in that range. I remember how I often with a beer go like, oh man, yeah, this really reminds me. This is what I love. I really love this. This is such a great OG West Coast IPA. I love this. This really reminds me of it. And then I drink a classic West Coast IPA and I'm like, no, wait. This is what a classic West Coast IPA actually is.
Yeah.
It's a paradigm shift.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. It's 100%.
Yeah. We went from I mean, you're from America, so this is freaking funny. Leave it to the Russians to have actually cracked the code to what a Russian Imperial Stout should be.
Yeah.
And they were actually not ever brewed by the Russians. They were brewed for,
for Russia. I was just going to say that. Yeah.
And suddenly it's the Russians who are telling us again, like, dudes, this, remember? This. Bakunin, AF Brew. Nah, AF Brew is very heavy on the milk stouts, but if you ever heard of them, I reviewed one the other day. It was a porter, not a stout, but still. 50 centiliters, €6, wax capped, bourbon barrel aged, Imperial Porter.
Okay.
I felt like I was drinking one of those classic American barrel aged stouts. €6 for 50 centiliters. Okay. It's both amazing, but also a little bit troublesome.
Yeah.
That Russia is right now telling us, hey guys, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. It is interesting. I do find myself, whether it is the West Coast IPA, the stouts, the 4-core, however you want to describe it, the traditional of it, the things, the flavor profiles that got me into craft beer to begin with, are interesting to my palate again, while I'm still interested in the new stuff, for lack of a better term. So yeah, no, I love that. Yeah, that's awesome. That was a great question, KPU. That was awesome. And I agree. That was a great way to end. Just to kind of An advantage of bourbon brands down in the Netherlands is that we sell the one with the highest ABV. Nice. So yeah, because some of the states here have like certain alcohol laws, so they have different alcohol for them. Lactose. What was it? Not lactose. I'm sick of lactose. What was this?
Yeah. Lactose tired.
And KPU. Yeah, that was a great question, man. I appreciate that, and glad that you can understand where we're coming from for sure. Thomas, this was a great idea, man. This was all
man. This was fantastic. I never thought we would fill 2.5 hours like this.
Again, I've never done this, but actually, we're coming up. We got 10 seconds. I've never done this. I was very nervous, as I said, and this was freaking awesome and so easy and fun. And Ken, KPU, Ken, thank you for that.
Hey, Ken.
But yeah, no, this was a great day. I'm glad I just happened to be on YouTube when you guys were doing your stream and commented, so you guys know I was watching. And yeah, this was awesome. Great idea on the beers to do. Definitely subscribe to Thomas. Subscribe to everyone who was commenting who does this on YouTube.
Please do.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, people.
For the Dutchies, check out Dutch Beer Geek, check out Beer Geek Holland, and I'm assuming that everybody who's watching is already subscribed to No Hype Beer Reviews. But if you're not, if you just stumbled over this for some weird YouTube algorithm, come on, please, guys, subscribe to No Hype. This guy knows. This guy understands.
Just a guy with a camera. That's all. Very sweet. And yeah, we'll talk. Thomas, doesn't have to be today, but yeah, let's debrief and talk a little bit.
We will
at some point. Okay, my friend. Okay. And to everyone, thank you for watching so much. I really appreciate that. Yeah, check out Thomas Opent. Check out Opent. Sorry, and check out the Dutch Beer Collective guys as a whole. Check out everyone who was commenting. There's a lot of really cool beer tubers who commented. Too many for me to remember everyone. I'd feel bad if I started saying names and forgot someone. So go through and subscribe to them. Check them out. Thomas, so much fun across the pond, as the Brits
I had a blast, buddy. I had a blast. This was fantastic, and we should definitely do this more often.
Yes, 100%. All right, I have nothing to cheer, but
I hope I get to shake your hand this year.
Palooza 2020, we're doing it. Let's do this thing.
That's going to be awesome, brother.
All right, man. All right.
Hey, cheers. Man, have a great evening.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
All right. So it's still going and broadcast. Did it actually end?
No, it's still going.